Okay, it is 9:42 a.m. and so far I've had one trade with GESI and it was a very short trade. The only thing I would have liked to have done better is that I could have sold in two pieces, but why was I in GESI? As you can see, the top here is about 425, so I had like a top here, it was a top here, was a top here, and then it looked like it was going to break past this level. And also I was keeping in mind that it was looking like it was going to break maybe this 430 level right here. If you don't count the wick, it's almost like a top. And also they had a big red day here, and then there might have been shorts, and now they're getting squeezed, so they're covering and they're getting out of their positions. So with all of that in mind, I did get in at 936. I bought 50 shares at 428. Right here I bought at 428 again because it was looking like it was going to break past this 425 level, and that was actually not a bad entry because this thing trades with a spread, but as you could see, it was something like this where you had support very close to the ask, and then you had like a few levels under it as cushion very close to the bid. It wasn't like 428 is right here at the bid and then the next one is 421. It actually had support kind of like this. So again, for all those reasons, I got in it at 428, just 50 shares. Worst case scenario, I was going to cut it if it were to have broken VWAP. And then if I were to have had slippage, I'd be out at $4, maybe like 3.95, and that would equal a $20 loss according to a $20 risk level. I got out at 938 at 431. Right here I got out at 431. I was just feeling a bit uneasy with the setup, and the only thing I would have liked again is that if I were to have sold half of my position and then maybe risk the other half if it breaks my entry. At that point I probably would have been able to sell the other half for a lot more, but my fear was that this thing was just uptrending, 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 but then when it starts to go the other way, it's going to be very hard to sell, and it's going to like just fall and drop a lot. But I did sell here at this 431 level at 938. It did get as high as the 440s, which is impressive, and now it kind of came back here and it's holding VWAP. So, maybe it'll try to hold it officially and then try to uptrend from here potentially. But this is a very sketchy stock to play because it does have a wide spread and it trades a lot like pump and dump. I'm not calling it one, but the chart looks like one. And I did look at SYXX and just try to see the choppiness. I think the thing that I saw on Friday to take into consideration, not necessarily how many green or red prints are showing up, but the size. I think it can help with a choppy stock to see what kind of move it's trying to make, whether it's towards the upside or the bottom. I'll be looking at RMSL if it tries to break the 4 cent level. PACB could try to have like a second big green day, but it doesn't seem like it has the volume. And this one just doesn't have any volume whatsoever, but I'll continue to watch it. However, there's a chance I might remove it. That's all I have for right now. Okay, it is 9:49. I had a very quick trade with EMMY and it looks like it's working now, but I wanted to play it super cautiously because I wasn't really watching it for a long time, but I noticed that it was mentioned in the chat. I saw the pattern. I got in it for that reason. I don't think I had the right amount of shares. I think I was close, but I probably should have had a lot more. I was interested in it and I bought 25 shares at 947, which was right here at this 129 level. So actually that was my limit. I got in at 128 and 947. I was in it right here, and why did I get in? Nice gap up day. It's looking like it's going to potentially have a lot of volume too. This thing is a former runner. It had a very nice move a very long time ago, at least in the day trading world, and it was looking pretty impressive here, and it was looking like it was going to break officially this 128 level and then maybe continue higher like it's doing right now. But what happened was is that I wanted to play this one super cautiously, especially because it's a listed stock, but I like it. It's actually doing it even without me. I don't mind, and I did get out the next minute at 129, which is just a penny difference at 948 because it was looking like it was going to fail right here, and I got out at 129 and it actually continued to go forward, which is fine. I just thought that maybe it was going to fail, reject, and then have like a big listed stock red candle and wipe the thing out, but it's continuing, and this will be something I'll potentially be watching for maybe like a second day setup, or if I can see something clean I'll consider it too. But yeah, this thing is totally working, which is cool. I wish I gave it more patience, but at the same time, I was kind of right when it was about to happen. I didn't have the time to get the right amount of shares or anything like that, but I was thinking, worst case scenario, right? I was gonna be in it at 129. That's 32 bucks, and then worst case I'm at like $1 if it just has a really nasty red candle, and that would have been $7, close to a $5 risk level. Maybe that would have meant a sell at 108 would have been close to a $5 loss, but yeah, that would have been closer. But at the same time, it probably wasn't likely going to do something like that because this one kind of trades a bit slow. But yeah, this is cool. If I was still in it, maybe I'd have a trend line if it lets me draw one right around here, and then sell the other half or the entire position if it decides to break it. And even though I can continue the uptrend, even if it just breaks under it for a little bit, that will be my trade right there. And GESI did do the thing. They held VWAP. So if I did that thing where I sold half of my position at 431, which was right here, and then the other half I was risking right at my original entry price at 428. I guess it had a little tick here to 427, but it held VWAP. And maybe that would have given me a chance to sell in the 440s and been that much more profitable. So that's pretty cool. I like seeing where I could do better because I see a path that I can take. And I'll make an update later. I'll continue to be watching MULN. Okay, it is 11:04 a.m. and I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do with the previous trade. I'm in AWH. I bought 120 shares at 60, which was at 1054. 1054 was right here. I got in at 60. I tried to be in at 59, but it was a bit too quick. It was already trying to make a move, but I'm in at 60. And I like it because it's looking like it's trying to break out of this level that it's been in for a very long time, and it can try to really reverse. It doesn't have to, of course. And I did sell more than half of my position at 62. At 1056, I sold right here at 62. More than half of my position. Now I'm holding on to the rest, which is just 50 shares because this is a listed stock. I'm trading a $5 risk level. And I'm going to cut the trade if it breaks this trend line. So that's essentially all that I'm doing right here. I might even be able to put a stop, but I'd rather just watch this. This thing can head all the way back down. I'll be fine with that because at least I gave it a chance for it to continue going higher. I'm going to cut the trade as soon as it breaks the trend line, and that's where I'm at the moment. Okay, it is 11:43. A little salty with myself, but I did stick to my plan, and I did see this price action. I didn't like how it was, right here at 6238, and then it was only able to get slightly higher at this 625 level, and then it got a bit lower. The price action wasn't looking good. Somebody dumped, I think, 30,000 shares right around here, and then it started looking ugly. I knew to get out here, but I said, you know what? I'm going to just stick to the thing because I can see that it's going to downtrend, but maybe in a longer period of time is going to continue to move, and that's the part that I would miss out on normally most of the time. So I continued to hold on to the setup, and when it broke the trend line, that's when I started to get out of it. A little salty with myself because I did get out at 11:40, which was right here, basically at the point where the bid and the ask, it was just going to break the trend line regardless. And this, I guess, is part of what happens when you trade OTCs for free and no commissions, because I did sell. My limit was at 60, but all of the times it would drop, it would catch itself around the 60 and 8 level, right? So, Fidelity told me I got out at 60 flat, which was right here, but it clearly never got that level. So I ended up gaining 60, but I guess Citadel traded a little piece of what it was and I guess made a tiny profit because it was just 50 shares. And now it's around this level. Sure, I can try to hold 60 over a longer period of time and uptrend and maybe break this level later, but my plan was, according to the trend line, I guess the only thing I wish I could have done was maybe put a limit to sell at 608, and then I would have gotten executed there perhaps, but I think I did everything fine. Again, I got in at 1054, which was right here at 60. I would have liked to have been in at 59, but it kind of started to make the move without me, so I had to do that. Otherwise, I would have been happier if I was in at 59. I did sell more than half of my position at 62, 1056 right here, and then I sold the other piece at 60, which was at 1140 right here. Again, I would have liked it if I sold the last piece at 608. And that's really about it. I mean, it can continue again to make a move over a longer period of time, but I wanted to trade off the trend line. A little frustrating that sure I'm not gonna make a lot today, but I am doing a lot better with my trading, and in theory this is something I could do with 1,000 shares. Maybe not 10,000 shares because this one's a little liquid, and over a longer period of time I think that's gonna help me be a lot more profitable. That's all I have for right now. Okay, it is 1:18 p.m. and I had another trade with MULN, another listed stock with $5 risk level, and I did this one better than the other one back here in that I was able to sell more pieces for more, but I think if I can be more consistent and keep seeing good results trading listed stocks, I might increase the $5 risk level that I have into a $10 risk level. Anyway, I did have a trade with MULN because it was looking like it was going to break the day high again. So it's not the same as the original breakout, but this is a second one, and so it's less likely, more risky, but it can still do it. I was in at 1:01 p.m. at 142. So 101 was right here, and I got in at 142 because it was looking like it was going to break it. The high at the time was this little tick right here at 144, and I'm in at 142 looking like it's trying to do it. It did take a few minutes before it started the workout, and I did sell half of my position at 105 before it started to do it right here, and I did sell it at 143 because we did break past this 143 level and get to the 144s, but it was just looking kind of ugly, so I got out of it, half of my position just to lower my risk. Worst case scenario, I was going to cut the trade if it were to have downtraded and broken VWAP, and then with some slippage that would have been a $5 risk level. And then I did sell another piece, just 5 shares at 147 at 109. Right here I got out 5 shares at 109 when it had the uptrend. It finally did break out 144 and it got to this level here, and I sold while it was still there. And then I sold the last 10 pieces according to a trend line. As you can see, I drew a trend line following it here, and I did get out 10 shares, the last amounts of my position at 114 at 140. What is that? 145 and a half. So 145 at 114 was right here when it was looking like it was going to break the trend line. It didn't do it, in that I guess it did a little bit, but it didn't like officially really downtrend below it. It just had these little wicks right there, and in theory this thing is still kind of following it. A bit sketchy, but this thing can try to follow up and break this 147 level, maybe break 149, and then it can continue to get to the 150s if it can do that. But I think I'm happy with the way I traded it overall. I just wish I had maybe 10x the amount of shares that I had, but if I can keep these good habits, what I think are good habits, over a longer period of time, as I size up, this thing should be fine, and then I'll have more experience. So I'll make an update as to what MULN does later. There's nothing really here, although I did have an interest in buying it potentially if it were to have broken this trend line, but I just kind of left it alone. It didn't really work out. SYXX had a really bullcrap high spread um, panic bounce play, I guess, here just because somebody had a lot of shares to sell. I did not like the way I traded. I don't mind it. As for this one, it's still at the 60s level. It hasn't really done anything else. I was quite happy with it overall with this trade here. And sure, again, I can try to do it later, but that my plan was it to follow the trend line for the last piece that I had there, and yeah, GESI did do that uptrend. It did get as high as a 450, so I was kind of right to take that into consideration. Yeah, because I did get out at 431 at 938. Right here at 431. It did hold VWAP, and yeah, it did get to the 450s. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, I'll just keep watching MULN. That's all I have for right now. I want to see if it can do it. There's a good chance it can, but of course it doesn't have to. But it does look kind of likely that it's going to try it. Okay, it is 10:46 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I'm up just $3.92, and I was what having one, two, three, four day trades, and I made $3. And fortunately, that's going to be the case because I traded a lot of listed stock setups, and if it's a listed stock, I trade a $5 risk level, and then the one trade that was with an OTC with a $20 risk level. I didn't trade enough shares with GESI, and yeah, if this isn't like a fluke and I can see more continued consistency trading profitably listed stocks, then I'm going to increase that dollar risk level to $10, and then that will be pretty good, and that would allow me to be more profitable. And on top of that, I actually did my best, but I could have sold a lot better. There was that one trade with MUN here. It got much higher, and then I had that second trade, and I got out of it at 114, which was right here, and it did ultimately hold this, level. It's not really a trend line, but it did hold it, and it got to the 150, so that would have been pretty cool, selling into the 150s. And then as for AWH, it did actually get to the 63s at one point, but it hasn't really been doing much since, and I don't know if that's real or not, but that looks like a lot of volume was dumped as well. And as for GESI, this one did continue the uptrend a bit more, and it even broke the day high, as you can see right here. Although I wouldn't have been a part of this, it did make a nice move from the 450s to the 480s. That's it. I think I had a lot of good trading experience, more discipline trying to sell positions and pieces instead of selling everything at once. Like I could have done that with GESI, and I could have been much more profitable if I sold in two pieces. I need to continue doing that. It looks like something that I can improve upon and do even better over a longer period of time. That's all I have for today.